during the last matchup, but now you get to watch him live. Tens is a monster. He put up 39 kills for the loss in game 1. Now trying to answer back. It is 6-6 after the half, and it's going to be our red team on the attack as Caboose is making his way up. I believe we have to do a quick swap on the scoreboard. We'll be jumping in here with your attacking squad. Terrific.
Let's have a little look what Caboose can do. Nice bit of map control garnered, but got to be cautious on that. Relic's going to push off the back of it. That's a beautiful set piece. They're just kind of playing it off the back of that utility. FNS though, Finesse. I'm going to call you FNS. I can't help myself. Doing well to kind of keep this one level. This is super scrappy. This is just straight up brawls. Living out on the jet. I need to kind of catch up with who these players are. Of course, my mate going to be the one to get the spike down in a 1v2. Certainly possible, but 1 HP makes it a little bit trickier, Puckett. I mean, if they pull it off. Oh, the free info. The free info, the Tens doesn't care.
Unfortunately.
So
another ghost to the face. Show me the scoreboard, Tens. Where are we at? I'm guessing 14. What's your guess? Tens at 13. Oof. Not bad. Not bad. Calypso on the other side with 14 of his own. Looks like Finesse sitting at 10 and 10 and Mummy at 12 and 10. On the other side, we got to give a shout out to Relics, officially signed on to Cloud9 now. They've got 2 of the 5 on ink on paper, I should say. Mitch, Shinobi, and Poach. We've seen a lot of Mitch, a lot of Shinobi, Poach on the lineup today as there's no Infinite.
And I do see the Tens fans being a little upset that I'm being mean. I mean, it's hard to see one of the best players so far not having the same success as some of the others. So it's not a disrespect to Cloud9, it's wanting them to be able to kind of equal out the ability and be able to play to that strength. Obviously that's a positive thing. You gotta use, you gotta go 10 head, not 2 head, alright? Caboose,
there you go.
Again, still trying to take the fight here. 6-7. It must have been a close game. Of course, we're going to play catch-up here, so we don't really know what to expect. But going off that first round, super scrappy. So this does play well to a mix, but then again, of course, it does play well to someone like Tens, who will kind of thrive in that chaos.
And what I love is we're seeing Tens on Viper today. He's showing you how just strong she is in the middle of split. Her poison orb can just cause chaos. Everyone trying to push through, seeing it's not going to work. Now, they didn't have any weapons to work with, no body armor, so don't be amazed by all 5 standing, but this is great for the economy of your defenders. Cloud9 going to be in a great position. We'll see what they can do with the SMGs going up against ARs, though. SMGs on defense, you can hold these tight corners. The question is, how aggressive do you want to play against Finesse and the rest of Terrific?
Do you know what? I'm really sad that it wasn't switched on the other side around, so we got to see Tens with Cloud9 on the attacking side with that Viper. I want to see that wall in action. I'd have loved to see what he could do with it because it's obviously so pivotal and easy to, not easy, but easier to implement in an attacking side. It really suits his strength. Look at this aggressive defense. Going to push straight out. Going to try and use those, lighter guns, those SMGs, of course, the guns that you're pretty likely to lose if you take straight one-to-one fights. It's already, I like that. Yes, it didn't net them much, but of course, would they have won straight up against, a Vandal or a Phantom? No. So it's a nice idea to try and, do something a little bit different, because this round often does anyway go the way of the team, obviously, with a higher purchase. So, on the other side, going to try something creative now. You do still have Tens here, and he's going to be sitting on a Vandal, so still pretty much able to operate at full speed. Now, I worry that the spike was alone, but Mummy delivers a big shot to keep this one building well.
Mummy. All right, no problem, Mitch. Spectre, and that's it. you got the rest of the kit, but once you throw this grenade right now, you're getting ran over. Last man standing is going to be your Omen. And what can you do? Relics in the 1 versus 4, spike planted. Do you go for the challenge here? He's going to make the decision now. At least he's going to work his way into heaven, it looks like.
We'll talk about this composition for Cloud9 soon, because remember, no Sage on there. That's a big difference. So we'll talk about that afterwards and the kind of pros and cons. Of course, again, you guys at home, hashtag Ignition Series, your thoughts on that. Now again, Relics looking for some individuals to find. Gets the first, but FNS doesn't fall for that sort of stuff. He's not going to give away a kill for free. He might push up now, but the information's been found. Nicely done, well handled, 4 standing. That's what you want. Clean round here for them. Keep those guns the highest point. So Relics going to back away, just kind of hold a deeper angle, try and again do the same thing back to them, keep hold of the gun himself. Nice use of the utility late in the round. Where did that tag come
Alright,
from? Oh, it was
good
behind him.
flank.
Brim was there. I was like, wait,
Calypso
what?
was so quick through. All right, nice job to get the gun out of hands, and you can see the economy on both sides. Caboose won't be able to go for a full buy. Is he going to buy to a Sheriff here? Or will someone purchase for him on the other end? Tens sitting on $1,400. The op is bought by Mitch. They are going in here on defense.
So let's talk about what happens when you don't have a Sage. One, obviously, her ultimate is incredibly strong, but let's also talk about what she can do to choke points alone. So let's look. Obviously, you've got a Cypher on B. That's fine. I still like the ability to have that wall there, that slow there. Her utility kit, yes, it has been hindered, but it's still pretty good for hard stopping of these quick, pacey hits, which actually we're seeing a lot coming out from Terrific. These guys can pull off those very quick paced hits that obviously a full wall could slow down, could kind of allow rotations to come in. This gets harder to hold. However, we'll see if that does become a factor down the line, because for now it does seem as though they're kind of leaning a little towards B, but a 3-play stack towards middle from the defensive team. That's a lot of players present.
They're going to keep Poach over at that B bomb site. Everyone else is going to be ready to fight in the center of the map. As Finesse is just waiting for the peak. Shinobi around the corner wants to go. Akis is going to find the first. So attacker advantage at this point.
Got the spike.
And as you mentioned, no Sage. Every little chunk of damage is going to have an impact throughout this round. Looking
And
at
I
the
have
rotation,
seen compositions work like this, but you have to be such a skill mismatch to make it work. I'm a bit worried. It's a very offensive lineup, if that makes sense. Ooh, Mitch, not bad. That's a bit of a heavy loss, actually, because they were trying to kind of be quiet about this, because they've got 25 seconds, Puckett. They got to make this hit count, and now they've already got 2 players here. Mitch on the operator. There's no easy way through.
He's also earned his ultimate, so as they all push in, this could be a triple kill below. He's only going to get the Brim, it looks like, and won't be able to find a second before Mummy takes him down. So the Jet with a nice trade will get the spike planted. Viper's been walled out. That's going to be Tens on the other side of screens, and his teammates are rotating through CT. Will slowly work into heaven. How do you defend this bomb site is the question right now. We'll see what Terrific can do. Ult pop by Mummy, so he's got the right click. That's a one-shot kill for anyone peeking. Doesn't connect, though, on the Cypher's. Poach slide through.
Really nice hold. That's
Caboose
so well
cleans.
done. Wow. That was a really nice hold at the end.
I just love that they all knew when to press around the corners. They all peaked at the right time.
Yeah. So let's talk about where you'd put, if you wanted to pick up Sage, and why Sage. So it's so for me, right? And again, I go on about this because it's a really fun talking point. Use that hashtag, talk to me, let me know your feelings, of course. I think on the attacking side, Viper, way superior. I haven't seen her enough after the updates and the changes to see how well she suits potentially implementing that on a defensive side. I think that to me is going to be where it's going to be really divisive, but also, ooh, Mummy, where did you get that pick? Straight away, facing in. Obviously, with the switch up of this map, the attackers do get that fair fight over by those B walls,
Yep.
so you're going to end up having that sort of situation, but aggression in middle from the defensive team here, oh, that's risky.
This is a big trade in the middle after losing Poach. You're going to get 2 now down for defense, but the Brim was removed. That means the Brim ult also out of action. Caboose working up top of the ramp on Reyna. Lear available. And of course, Mitch, he's been playing A Heaven this whole time. Lear comes out, but he pokes right underneath it. Does not get blinded and picks up the first. Relic's helping out, and now they've got a rep control. Jet challenge, and he will have to run away, as it's going to be Mummy on the retreat, connecting on a headshot. That's a big one. That brings it down to a 2 versus 2 here, Lauren. And they both, of course, have lots of time. 39 seconds, plenty to get over to the B side.
Oh, God, are you seriously
Or
losing
not.
this?
Or you can go for an orb and have Tens blast you both in the head with a Sheriff.
Oh, God.
Mummy just did such a sick job to get out of the fight. Why do you... Okay. They can't see what we do.
Okay,
They don't know
okay.
the mini-map info we do. I have to remind myself.
Do you know what? Do you know, if okay, here we go. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. If Tens hit some like bangers, you know, there's like one sheriffs doesn't sound good, but one deegs, you know what I mean, where you just can't reply fair enough. But for the double face, they just, oh no, that's tilting. I promise you, Terrific are tilted like mad because of that. You don't want to lose those rounds. Those are rounds that are meant to be yours to have. So let's kind of walk into this one now. If you're, as said, terrific, you're going to be a little bit tilted. You might make some rash decisions. You might get a little angry, especially with the amount of one-ways that are coming out of this Viper. God damn. And
every
the flash
single
to
round.
Follow. This is hard. Look at this. Look at this utility, this late utility middle. They start to feel that pressure. Flash, blind, all of this stuff comes out.
Costly push through the center. You still have your Lears. And as we can see on the mini-map, no one is going to challenge for the A high ground. Cypher is already clearing it out with the camera. As you can see, Finesse trying to lead the rotation. And they're going to slowly work their way into A. Waiting for them on the bomb site is going to be Mitch. The Rays should be the first to see any action.
Mitch has done pretty well here at holding their own. Now, the problem is, the one thing we haven't seen before, or at least too much, is a Viper is on the site. So that's a bit of a switch up here. This is going to now cause Paranoid to come in. Omen TPA around like that is going to speed things up and cost Jets in position. Ultimate towards the pillar. Going to force them towards the site, but that wall's going to keep this tricky for them to cross. Nice use of it. I actually like that. Using it in a defensive way that works quite well, making it tricky. But it does also allow someone like FNS to get towards the site. My mate, that operator up close and personal, never going to be easy. So now, site's been cleared. It's under wraps, but now the retake already looking problematic here.
Poach sitting at screens, waiting for his Omen to rotate to the top. And we're going to see, how do they plan to break in 3 players to beat? There's the first challenge, and he's able to trade out. So there's a 1 versus 2 now for Relics. Not going to happen. Finesse finds 3 on the Cypher. Big gun round. You save the op. Mome's sitting on 17 kills. 9-9. Looking at the opposing team's money. 10s can definitely buy up. You got some extra cash on Mitch. But we'll see what they decide to do here.
The spike.
Do you try and even things out and keep the healthy economy, or do you go for the full buy here? Because your opponent, they're also broke if you win a round or 2.
Look at this purchase, man. That's
double
bold.
up, a stinger, which is actually pretty decent mid-short range at either A ropes or holding the top of heaven. The Sheriff, so you are banking on hitting that headshot and getting around the corner before being traded back, and it's not going to work. Caboose with the opening pick. Mitch had one of those 2 ops, the big buys, and A site wide open. Rotation from the Omen. He's going to pick up the down sniper rifle, so they've recouped some of the weaponry, but the ops not the best at retaking A behind the site.
That was the worst possible scenario, because now you're left in a retake with operators, which obviously we all know doesn't feel good. 10s with the info, but I don't... It's so much money to potentially lose. Relic's still going to hold a little bit of time here, trying to make sure they can't just walk through them. They could still make a play on this. It's just going to be really rough. There's no easy way to do this. This is an uphill struggle all day long. Already Caboose going to find 10s. Revive comes in, and they're going to be costing them time. Coming with on towards Poach, they've got to back away. They have to back away and try and save the operator they have. Wow. That purchase was very risky. And sometimes, you know, risk reward, you got to go for it. But here,
Nope.
that was bold.
Yeah, you could have just given them the 10-9 and walked away. Instead, it's going to be a very healthy economy now for your attackers going up against what is going to be a tough 2 rounds. Relic still has the op, and now you're in that predicament. Do we buy up to support them every round? How often do we spend our cash? Can we afford at this point in the game, with the opponent now sitting on 10, to go on a full save? Probably not.
Yeah, I'm a bit worried about the money management for the defensive side here. It's really, really risky. It's that kind of like fine margin. Am I going to be almost out-peaked on that? I don't think Omen took any damage, no. So, works favorably, but of course having the Sage, you do get that benefit of getting them back up, even without the armor there. Caboose picking up Reyna. I actually really like that for the Lear. I've enjoyed watching Reyna. I think people thought she was going to be super OP because of her, you know, ability to play out, but I think she's kind of slotted in pretty evenly in high-tier games, because you just can't string things together like you can in most of chat's, you know, iron, like,
She's an
games,
incredible,
you know,
selfish hero that if you're a one-man army, you are going to pop off. At this top level, the Lear is good, but only against the one-on-one. Yeah, in a 1 versus 2, I feel like it just gets popped instantly, and you're headshotted before you round that corner.
I would also
Finesse.
say the one nice benefit... Oh, actually, hold on. Pop of the ult, Empress up there, so let's see if the ultimate works out. I've not really been a huge fan of it, but maybe his entry could work well. Yeah, use the Leer. Why not? It's a bonus. But this site hold, last time to get outdone, they got to do better this time.
I have this fight.
Big second Leer. Of course, the Rolling Thunder slows down your shot, but not your abilities. Caboose reacts perfectly and now keeps him in it. Mitchell, the Stinger, is going to find Calypso. And the Empress is dancing around the site. 1v1 versus... It looks like, actually, excuse me, that player will drop. So it is going to be just Relics again with the Operator in a 1 versus 3.
All right, Relics. Show me the money. Let's go. Let's go. We got a little bit. We got a little bit to play with. We got a little bit of room here. Time's not over yet. All right, switching up to the rifle. Smart idea, but time runs out. Caboose gets them done. Nicely done overall. Now, I want to say as well, the one thing with Reyna, I've actually really enjoyed some operator players kind of toying with the idea that you can use her because of her ability to readjust and doing it in some sort of like almost, invincibility, the way she can kind of re-peek on angles or kind of move away from angles, and it can work out. It's a little bit tricky. Exactly, it's a little bit trickier, it's a little bit more convoluted to do it, but it's actually not necessarily a bad thing. Now here comes the buyback in for Cloud9, but by this point they're at a pretty big deficit. No more mistakes. So let's have a little look. Let's see if they can make this one count at the very kind of tail end of this potential game.
And remember, they're already down 1-0. It's a best of 3. This will be the first match win for Team Terrific, if able to put together just 2 more rounds. Caboose on the attack has been leading the charge with this Reyna. And unfortunately, this time, it's going to be Skylar Relics holding the corner up top, and he will find the kill. Tens is going to pop the Viper Poison, so if you walk through that, your health instantly drops, and you are basically a one-shot. So not only is it a one-way smoke, it also hurts you.
Oh, this mid control. Oh no. Even though they are potentially down a player. Okay, that's nice. Seeing Mitch fully aware that this is a problem. The double peek on the ropes, not bad. Nade should be big, though. FNS going to find a kill against Poach, and the big follow-up. Now the rotations become tricky. You already see the wall being put up, allowing a little bit of time for the rest of the attacking side to get towards the site, get the spike down. And look at this. Look at the power of that wall. Just buys them enough time. That's the power of Sage that you love to see.
Sage! Yeah, I think Sage is going to be back in every lineup by the end of next month. People still trying to figure out how can we break the meta. Akis, he's got the knowledge of where the last defender is. Team Terrific, 1 kill away from moving up to 12-9. Remember, we started the half at 6-6, and the attackers, well, they are going to work. 6 rounds to 3 so far, and they need just 1 more. Looking at the money, you can buy half armors and bulldogs. You could go with sheriffs and a full armor buy. Some specters are coming out. Only 1 vandal for the defending team.
So that previous round was kind of the big one. If we're looking at the economy, obviously everyone is, radiant, enchant, fully aware. They understand the economy to a T. Don't need to explain it to them. They knew that the last round was probably the big one, which it was. So the money, of course, now is kind of garbage for C9, which is the problem. They can fashion a buy, but it's pretty poor. You're going to have to see them try and make something happen out of very little here. So it might have to be a little bit of a heavier lean towards just potentially a gamble stack as such, which it looks like they're going for a little bit of a heaven gamble stack on that. Kind of leaning towards A, of course, with the player even in towards the rope side of middle, which isn't necessarily a bad read. You do still have Sage with the spike. Oh no, Caboose is kind of popping off here. That's a problem. FNS finding big kills, Puckett. This is looking like it's all but over.
Cutting their vision. Cutting their vision.
It looks like, again, kind of leaving this the last moment. And 13-9, I'm a bit worried here, if I'm honest. If this is a look from Cloud9, let's also take into account, though, Terrific as a team, probably one of the stronger teams out there. In comparison to anyone else, they're probably one of the better teams coming in who are not necessarily kind of considered as the highest ground, the highest teams, that high bar to aim for. So, yeah, I'm a little nervous going forward for Cloud9, Puckett.
Sorry, I got really excited and knocked over my microphone for a minute in that last round. But Cloud9, I have a suggestion. If I could play coach, and sorry, Chad, if I have some of the Viper abilities wrong. Clearly, I don't know how her smokes work. But I want to see the Viper just disappear. The rest of the tournament, go back to Jet. We watched it during the first light tournament, and Tens was on fire every single map. I feel like mobility is the key to his success. And the Viper, while her kit can be useful on maps like Split, I feel like he's just much more comfortable on his main. So go back to the Jet. We know you play Viper on stream, but at the competitive level, I think I want to see Tens